Hey, welcome. I'm Marta, and today's short practice is going to be a pre-run routine and a post-run routine. Kind of quick and easy. So we're just going to get started. All of the postures are going to be done on the mat or on your knees, and it is helpful to have two blocks or a pillow or something to support you in a few postures. So you're just going to start on your back with your knees into your chest. And you can roll out your ankles, roll out your knees a little bit, get around the hips. So this practice is going to focus on hips and hamstrings. So pre-run routine. We're going to get the hips a little bit loose, a little bit stretched, a little bit of mobility work, and a little bit of strength. From here, give your knees a big hug into your chest. And then just send your legs up your imaginary wall for a moment. Your knees don't have to be straight. You can keep them bent. And then go ahead and bring your feet to the mat. Now your feet are going to be hip width, okay, and your knees bent. We're going to come into a figure 4 shape by bringing your right foot over your left. And just make sure your right ankle clears your thigh bone. And you might need a block here in a moment, so just have it nearby. From here, bring your arms out to the sides. You can have your palms down for some support. And we're going to switch your wiper from side to side. So you're going to go to where it feels good, and also you want to go only to where you keep the lower back on the mat. You don't want to lift that up. So we're just going side to side. And just slow, side to side. And then find your way onto your left side. Now here is where you might use the block under your foot if mobility-wise this is too much of a stretch. Right? And then you can flip your palms up, give your shoulders a little rest here. And if you want to find a little more depth in this pose, you can bring your left hand to your right thigh and pull your knee towards the floor a little bit. Another option is to gaze right. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths here. And then go ahead and release your knee. Come back up to center, holding that shape. We're going to do a figure 4 stretch. So thread your right hand through. You're going to grab a hold of your shin, maybe even interlace your fingers. Rest your head back. If that's too much, again, you can put a block underneath your head if your head's not reaching the floor. And kind of roll around on your lower back here. Kind of moving into the right side a little bit. Gets a little bit deeper. And then release the hands. Holding the shape one more time. Bring the left foot down. You're going to bring the right knee towards the floor. Again, you can put a block under your right knee if bringing it all the way down to the ground is too much. So you're going to hold these poses 3 to 5 breaths. And then coming back up to center, we'll restart on the other side. Again, starting with the knees to the chest, kind of reset here. Roll around on the lower back. And working the ankles and toes here as well. Bring your feet to the mat. This time you're going to bring the left ankle to clear your thigh bone, drawing the knee towards the front of your space and flexing your foot. So anytime your knee is in that 90-degree angle, you're going to flex your foot. And I think it's just better to have your hands down here for support as you windshield wiper from side to side. Nice and slow. Try to breathe. Inhaling as you move the legs in one direction and exhaling as you move them in the other. And eventually you're going to hold the leg onto the right, on your right side. Foot down. Again, you're still holding that shape. You can flip the palms up to cactus the arms. Staying here or finding that more depth. Right hand to the left thigh. Pulling it just towards you. Release your leg. Let's come back up to center. Again, holding the shape. Left hand threads through. Grab a hold of the shin, keeping the feet flexed. Pulling in towards you a little bit. Again, you can kind of rock or roll around the lower back. Center, release your hands, cactus the hands out. We're going to bring the left knee to the left side this time. Again, put a block there if you'd like. Cactus the arms out. So cactusing the arms out just relaxes your shoulders back and down. Find your breath. Creating all this space in the right side and the right hip. And then go ahead and come back up to center. Bring your knees into your chest. You can roll onto your side body and come up into a tabletop shape. Bring your knees together, your hands as wide as your mat, drop your head. And we're going to tuck our toes, so we get our toes in the middle of our fascia in the feet. So finding big circles around, pushing into your toes as you come around. And switching directions. And coming, pressing the feet back towards bring your hips back towards your heels, press into your toes. And then go ahead and come back up, lift up your feet, roll out your ankles. From here, I'm going to have you extend, I'm going to face towards you, have you extend your right foot out. So your right foot or right heel is in line with your left knee. From here, hands are under your shoulders. I'm just going to have you rock back and forth. And then the third time back, hold that stretch. You don't have to come all the way down onto your heel. You can stay up a little bit. You're flexing your right toes towards you. And then come back up to the hands. Walk your hands up. You're going to inhale the arms high. Bring your right hand either to your thigh or your shin, and we'll reach up and over. Bring your hands back up and then to your hips. From here, as you inhale, you're going to press into your foot and do this side lunge. And we're going to do that a couple times. Inhale and exhale back to center. Let's hold this third one. Try to keep your upright position so your shoulders are over your hips, but you're really pressing in and pulling your knee towards the back of your space. From here, bring your right hand on the inside of your right thigh and then extend your left arm high. And then bringing Bring your hands back down. Bring your knee into the center of your mat. You're gonna bring your right leg up and over the left. Fan out the feet. Start to walk. So you want your feet out. You're gonna start to walk. Maybe you can sit between the heels, maybe not. That's okay. You can stay up here. Just to a point where you feel a nice little tug on both sides of your hips. Again, all these poses, you're gonna hold 3 to 5 breaths. And then let's come up, come back into that tabletop shape, just lining up the joints, right? Hips and knees, shoulders and wrists. Let's do the left side. Extend the left leg. And you're gonna rock back and forth. So a little active movement followed by a static stretch, bringing the hips towards the heel. Again, just be nice to your knees. If this is too deep, stay up a little bit higher. And then coming back up into that half tabletop shape. Walk your hands up. Let's bring the arms up. Inhale, lengthening your side body. Bring your left hand to your thigh or your shin. Gate pose. You're going to come up and over, spinning the left ribs towards the sky. Feeling this opening in the right side body and hip. All right, let's come back up. Bring the hands to your hips. Inhale as you come into that side lunge. Keep shoulders over hips. And again, little movement before we come into the static pose. Holding it here. Keep moving the left knee towards your back wall. And then bringing the left hand down. And if that's too far, you can use a block. Extend the right arm high. And bringing your right hand to your hip, come on up. Bring the hands back down into that tabletop shape. Left leg up and over. So you're crossing your legs tightly and then walk your feet out. So if you're on your mat, your feet, your toes are just off your mat. Again, sink it back. You can sit on a block, you can stay lifted, or if it's available, you can sit between your heels. And you don't want to have pain in the knees, so find a spot along that spectrum where you feel a stretch without pain. Come back up onto the knees and move the hips side to side. And then coming into downward dog just for a second. Stretch it out, pedal it out. And then before we go for a run, last pose here. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. We're going to come into ragdoll. Your feet are wider than hip width. You can start with your elbows on your thighs. Relax the hands down. Or on a block, move the hips from side to side. Grab opposite elbows. You're trying to get the pelvis tilted back, right? So you don't want to have this rounding. You want to bend the knees enough to be able to tilt the pelvis back and relax your head. Stay here for 5 breaths. and you're ready for your run. All right, I'll see you after your run for our short stretch. All right, welcome back. All right, so after your run, come into downward facing dog. Hands are shoulder width, feet are hip width, and just pedal it out. Find a little bit of movement through your hips, letting your head fall heavy. Pedaling it out for about 5 breaths here. All right, from here, bring your right foot to the sky, open your right hip, bend your right leg, and then do just a couple of really big circles around the right hip socket. You're gonna roll it around, and then hold that open hip position. Inhale. And then take a giant step on the outside of your right pinky. So my hands are on the inside. My right knee is behind my ankle. And then line up your hands over your wrists. From here, bring your left knee down. Press the hips down. And you're going to circle around the hip socket a little bit. Just circle. And then we're going to come from, this is called runner's lunge, we're going to come to lizard. So you can use your blocks here. You're pressing down through the left hip and also opening through the right. So you can stay flat-footed or you can come onto the knife edge of your foot. That's the outside edge. Elbows to the floor, blocks or pillows, and then relax your head. All right, go ahead, come back up to your hands, bring your foot flat again. Left shoulder over wrist, inhale the arm high. Reach the back wall. And then maybe you can grab the pinky side of this left foot. And as you pull towards your glute, you're gonna feel your quad stretch here. Go ahead and release your foot, bring the hands back under your shoulders, press back and forth. So you're gonna inhale to press the hips down, and then exhale to straighten the right leg. And we're gonna do that a couple times. Active stretching to static. Third time back, you're gonna hold it here. Maybe you stay up here, you're curling your toes towards you. Maybe you can fold forward. All right, from here, bring your hands back under your shoulders. You're gonna bring your right leg all the way back and over. So your right leg is on the inside of your left. Pressing back, you can reach forward. And then coming back up. We'll come back into tabletop to do the other side. Press the hips high, get a little bit of movement. Inhale the left leg high, bend that knee, open the hip. And then just a couple of really big circles. Think about range of motion around the left hip. And then holding that position, open the hip, giant step on the outside of the left pinky. Line up your hands and shoulders again, bring your right knee down, and we'll go through that little range of motion through the left hip before coming into lizard pose. So again, you can come to the elbows, block, knife edge of the left foot, but relax your head. All right, go ahead and come back up to your hands. Bring that foot to flat. Right shoulder over wrist. Inhale, left arm high. And then reach the back wall. Grab the inside. If that's not available, just reach for it. If you do have a hold of your foot, try to get the pinky side and pull towards you. And then release. Hands under shoulders. We're going to inhale to press. Exhale to straighten the left leg. Inhale to press. Exhale to straighten. Last one we hold and straighten. So you're just folding on the inside. You don't want to round your back over. The hinge comes more from the left hip crease, but through the center. And always keep a little micro bend in your knee. Start to bend the left knee a little bit. You're going to move over. Show you this way. So we're coming from here, bringing that left leg up and over, pressing into your toes, reaching forward. And then coming back up, and you are all done. So I hope you enjoyed that and it helped pre and post run. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see, and subscribe to my channel and share it with friends that might benefit. Namaste.